everybody, Dr. Bookmark here, and today I'm at the Roosevelt School Lower Campus with teacher Lisa Antonelli. Lisa is a K-1 teacher at the Roosevelt, and what I'm so excited about is that, well, it's a fantastic school, the kids are unbelievable. Lisa has taken the Dr. Bookmark reading campaign and converted it into a student learning goal. Lisa, this is unbelievable. Tell me a little bit about it.
I think the kids were so excited upon meeting you that I knew that it was an interest level, there was a need, and I really feel like parent involvement is a huge piece of my classroom. So I felt like my student learning goal was so connected to reading literacy that it was important to make it fun and exciting, and it was an easy way to build in the parent involvement piece. So we have an incentive wall in our classroom that connects to your reading logs, so that it's a way for me to easily check in with parents to see how the progress is going, but also just builds the excitement and enthusiasm week to week, and the kids are just so excited to fill in their thermometers on a weekly basis.
Well, you know, what I really need to see now is to go down to your classroom and see the reading wall and see how you're keeping track of everything. And this whole reality of like the connection with the parents and the connection with parents of home reading, just how has that been going with the student learning goal?
Well, I think because the kids have been so excited that the parents just automatically jump on board because of their kids' excitement. And what it's also done has made parents feel more comfortable reading with their kids at home, and that we've been able to share different ways of reading. That reading doesn't have to just be in the traditional, book format, that we can do storytelling in our heads, that we can retell stories through pictures and things like that. And so what we're really promoting is the literacy skills, and the parents are just jumping on board, they're excited, and they want to know more. And we're fortunate because Mrs. Sheridan has connected a lot of coffee hours, her coffee conversations, to it as well, so that the parents see that this is a holistic learning community and that we're going to keep talking about it and keep finding ways to make them feel comfortable.
Well, let's go down and take a look at your classroom.
Sounds
okay?
Good.
So I'm outside Lisa Antonelli's classroom. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
What do we have here?
Well, this was the wall that we were talking about that's connected to my student learning goal. And so what it is on a weekly basis, they return their reading logs to us, and we give them by Wednesday to at least get them back, with the goal, hopefully, of returning them on the Monday. But on Wednesday, we track the logs, and for the children that have read for the week, they get to color in one portion of their thermometer. For the children that have read during the week 6 or more nights, they get to color in 2 spots on their thermometer. And so what happens is we fill up our thermometers. Typically the goal is to fill it up on a 3-week rotation so that they can take it off to get a reward, and meaning that we hope that they fill up 2 spaces on their thermometers on a weekly basis. That is the goal. We want reading 6 or 7 nights a week, and the excitement is when they get to pull the thermometer off because they're so hot, because they have the fever. They get rewarded for having the reading fever.
And we're talking about 4-year-olds here, right?
We are talking about 4-year-olds.
4-year-olds being able to track their own data.
Well, my classroom is an inclusion classroom, so we do have 3 and 4-year-olds in my classroom. We are a K0, K1 classroom. And so, for kids that need extra assistance, we absolutely give them that. But it is something that they are so prideful for. They bend down, they're tracking their data, they'll check in if they're unsure, and we refer back to their logs. And what it is just the love of reading that comes out at this point, and that's what we're really proud of.
I don't use this word all that much, but this is totally awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
4-year-olds are tracking their own data and reading. Now, what about 1 or 2 of the children I'm seeing here?
Well, I think what the excitement is that we're bringing just an easy way to read into the classroom, just a simple, all-round, come on, let's grab a book. And we're seeing it happening in the block area. We're seeing it happen in the house area, dramatic play. We're seeing it in the writing center now. And that's the excitement, that we're seeing books all around. And today in particular, you happen to be walking by my classroom, and one of my little boys that typically was not a huge reader, so to say, but has now become more interested and involved because of you. You walked by my room and he just screamed. He's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Dr. Bookmark!" And I said, I stopped my class.
I heard that.
Because in that moment, I felt like it was really important to stop what we were doing to run outside. So what I'm really excited about is that this little guy now wants to be reading, and he wants to be connected with his friends, and he's bringing books into the block area, and he's bringing books into the house area, connected to what their imaginative play is, and it's really exciting to see, and just to see his smile when he's reading.
Well, so one of the things we talk about is, like, you know, from the doctor's point of view,
Yeah.
is that reading is contagious
It
in
is.
terms of the great enthusiasm that
That's
kids
it.
bring to each other, and this young boy seems to be taking off in your classroom. So, and I heard him shout out. I was moving down the
Yes.
hall, and I knew I had to turn around and come back in. So, all of the work, all of the things that you're doing is just so great, and I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And thank everyone out there for meeting the Roosevelt today, meeting this wonderful teacher, meeting the principal, and knowing a little bit more about this fantastic school. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Principal Sheridan at the Roosevelt School, and I have the big question. The Dr. Bookmark BPS Time to Read campaign, what's your view of it as it's in your school now for the first year?
Well, I'm so glad you asked that question because honestly, this campaign has impacted this school in ways that I couldn't even have imagined, Dr. Bookmark. You've touched the lives of children, of teachers, of families, and honestly, even the greater community. And I could go on and on with stories.
Oh, please do.
that we've heard about that. But overall, this is a full inclusion school. And this campaign has leveled the playing field for all students because students come to books at whatever place they're at, whether they're reading it alone or reading it with a family member or a friend. And we've encouraged that, you've encouraged that, and made reading fun.
So interesting that you talk about the school as an inclusion school, because when I'm in the classrooms and I see the response to books and I see children excited about books and I see children talking to me about books and running up, and you know, the teachers and everybody kind of you just feel the energy of literacy in this building. You just see children. You don't see any categories whatsoever going on. And I think that in the end is the power of literacy when children really feel that it's for them, they can participate in it at any level, they come to it and then continue to grow. So happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case.
Beautiful. Principal Sheridan, could you talk a little bit about how the campaign has affected your data, especially obviously with literacy data?
Well, data drives instruction today in education, and it's a high priority for the Boston Public Schools. So this program, this campaign, is so closely aligned with that. You've created these amazing spreadsheets for us, and data entry for the teachers is very easy to do. And it's a wonderful way to align our reading data that we use, the testing that we use, the DIBELS and the TRC to collect our classroom data, and then the reading log data. So we can identify those students who are reading at home on a regular basis through your wonderful campaign, and then look at the data from the testing that goes with it, and see what the correlation is, if any. And we're already starting to see progress in that area.
I'm very excited about the teachers recording home reading data in a very efficient manner. I don't think we have done that over time in BPS, and now we're getting at the essence of like how this home reading data can really impact performance in the classroom. So thank you so much for participating in it.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
So, Principal Sheridan, we've talked about the effect in the classroom of the campaign. We've talked about data collection and the results of the data. What about parents and their response?
Well, that's probably one of the highlights. I mean, obviously the kids love you and they're tripping over you when you come into the building, but can I just share one story that that happened with a parent? One day you were in my office with me, and there was a parent outside looking at the bulletin board about Dr. Bookmark and the campaign, and this parent was talking and talking to the secretary about this wonderful Dr. Bookmark and how all the kids in her neighborhood, not even Roosevelt school kids, just kids that go to Boston Public Schools but live in her neighborhood, how they all come to her house in the afternoon, how they all read books together, and they're all talking about how they've got the fever. Well, we overheard that conversation, and you, being the amazing person that you are, walked out, introduced yourself to her, and offered to go visit her house with all these children. And I know that you had that visit. I wasn't able to join you, but the classroom teacher went with you, and I just heard the most amazing stories about the impact that you had on actually meeting these kids who, for most of them, you were just a story and kind of like this vision, and there you appeared right in front of
Well, it was a special visit to the house. I mean, not only were there, you know, maybe 10 children from, it was like a triple-decker, but all the parents were there, and so they participated. They participated in the stories. They got into some of the choral stuff that we did, and also they had cameras and they were taking pictures and everything like that. So it was you know, it's just, I can't say enough about the power of literacy when it comes at people from energy, fun, entertainment, and information. When you feel that level in terms of being literate, it influences everyone. So thank you so much, Principal Sheridan.
But I just want to follow up with one more thing, because you talked about the parents, and honestly, the parent engagement here has increased as well. So you noticed it in the home visit, but here I've incorporated that into my parent coffees that I've had. I've shared all kinds of data with parents around the importance of reading and the importance of speaking and communicating with your children. We've talked about fun activities that you can build on the literacy that you know, the books that you read with your children. So I've talked and worked with parents a lot this year on building those extensions that are readily available for any story that parents might read. And your literacy nights, when you've come and participated in them with the parent involvement as well, has just been outstanding. So I think it's a wonderful partnership. The Roosevelt School is very fortunate to be in this campaign with you.
Well, thank you so much, Principal Sheridan. You know, it's a pleasure to come to your school, and I'm glad to hear that things are going so well. So that's the Roosevelt, folks, and check it out. Look at the blog. Check out all the resources for you that are on the blog, and we're going to keep telling the story of literacy in the campaign. So for now, 1, 2, 3 out there. Ready, kids, parents, teachers? I love to read.